Okay, y'all, I fell down a YouTube rabbit hole and I'm bringing y'all with me. For new viewers, I am Sheeta from Sheeta's on the Loose, and I talk all things money, early retirement, career breaks, basically living your best life. But today we're going to talk about the American dream. And let me tell you about this YouTube rabbit hole I fell down. The first YouTube video I watched was called I Gave Up on the American Dream by a YouTuber whose channel is called The Upgrade. She talked about how she just wanted to be regular. Like she didn't want to do all this extra stuff. She was tired of striving and she just wanted to be regular. And it really struck a note with me. And then she talked about how she made that video because she saw a video by another YouTuber. Okay, so the original video was called Why I Gave Up on the American Dream and You Should Too by Timothy Ward. But you know, it's a rabbit hole. It's not 2 videos. It's got to be more than that. So I kept watching videos and I ended up on a third video. The third video was by Lynette Adkins and it was titled The American Dream Doesn't Exist. Okay, so I've had lots of American Dream stuff just swirling around in my brain this morning. And the American dream is something that I don't really think about that much. Once I decided I didn't want it. And that wasn't a gradual decision for me. I didn't wake up one day and say, I don't want the American dream. I think of all the videos I mentioned this morning, my realization was more like Tim's out of all of them, where it was kind of like, you work so hard and you try so hard and eventually you gotta kind of say like, what am I trying so hard for? Like, what am I working this hard for? What is the payoff of what I'm doing? And so for me, as much as I can, I have stepped out of the rat race and I'm no longer interested in working for other people. And I'm no longer interested in career advancement. And every once in a while, someone who knows me will ask like, well, aren't you going back to law eventually? And I'm like, no, like I'm a lawyer. But I'm a fully recovered lawyer. I don't practice anymore. I don't have any plans to practice anymore. That's old life. Hashtag old life over there. I'm not interested. Yes, I had some pretty cool jobs. Yes, I was terribly unhappy in a lot of them. And so it's like, once you step out of that, once you decide that you're no longer going to chase titles or possessions, which is really what the American dream is about. The American dream is owning a car, owning a property, owning a home and owning multiple homes, becoming a landlord, and so many other things that just don't resonate with the human I want to be. So yeah, it's one of those things that it's hard to get out of, but when you get out of it, if you can step out of it, looking at it from a distance, you realize it's not all that great, right? Like that dream, there's a lot of advertising behind the dream that makes it sound really nice, right? Like there's a lot of work put into the idea that you need these things, like you need the homes, you need the 2 cars for your family. And if you don't have them, you're somehow failing. And the way to get them is to work for a company that will pay you and work some more and work some more and get some more things and get a bigger house and get nicer cars in this sort of wheel that never stops turning, that you can never keep up with or catch up with. And there's really no way off except hitting the brakes hard and telling yourself, I no longer want this for myself. So like I mentioned before, this was more of a gradual process for me. I left America. I went to travel the world for a while. And then it wasn't so much that I checked out of the American dream. It was that I kind of like hopped off the wheel with the idea that I was going to getting back on that hamster wheel. And once I was out and I looked back, I was like, I don't want those things. I don't want those things anymore. I don't want the life because I know I've had a bit of success in my career. And I know that the only question is then like, but what next? But what are you going to do next? But how are you going to make it bigger? But how are you going to make it better? And there's no real room there for you to do anything unconventional. And so this message is actually for people who want to hop off the hamster wheel, who are no longer chasing the American dreams, especially for people who want to move abroad. I'm here for you. You know, I'm always talking to you. This one is for you today. I hear from so many people and I see you guys in Facebook groups and you're like, I'm leaving America. It's not for me. I'm no longer chasing all of these things. I am going to move to a new country. Who can tell me how to buy property in Thailand? Why? Why? Especially when I hear it from people who haven't moved to a place yet. Sort of like, I'm going here in a year, or I'm going to be there in 6 months, and I'm in advance looking about how I can own property there. And I want you to check with yourself. If that's you, and find out really why, like dig deep. What is the purpose of owning property? I also see a lot of people saying like, hey, I want to go there and get a job at this place, in this country. And it's like, we need money. Don't get me wrong. You need money. We all need money. Money makes the world go round. But like going to another country and getting another job that might be just like your last job, like I have to ask myself, like, have you really checked out of the American dream, or are you trying to get the same thing in a different country? Are you trying to achieve this American dream in a place where you think it's going to be easier to get it than in America? So have you really checked out of the American dream, or are you just looking for an easier road to the same definition of success? And the American definition of success is trash, y'all. It is. It is. Okay, so how many of y'all know people at old jobs, at current jobs, wherever, they're, successful, they're happy, they don't go home. I had coworkers like this. They would not go home because they don't want to be around their family. They'd rather be at work. Why are you working so hard for this 5-bedroom house and these cars if you won't go home? Why are you at work reading the news on your laptop because you'd rather do that than see your family? Like that's what the American dream looks like. You've gotten all these things, but now you're not happy with them, right? And let's talk about the family, because for a lot of us, hey, single Black women with no kids, talking to you, for a lot of us, being single over a certain age and not having kids over a certain age can feel like a failure, because part of the American dream is having that family. But y'all, I know too many people who have families and don't want families, right? Like, we know a lot of people who have them kids and are like, but how do I get away? And so part of recognizing that the American dream is not for you is to tell yourself, what parts of it am I holding on to because I really believe in it? If you believe in your soul that you were born to be a landlord, and capitalism is like deeply embedded in your nature as a human, I'm not gonna argue with you. Like, it is what it is. But if that's messaging that you've gotten over the years, if that is the great advertising campaign for America, that everything is great here, everyone has the cars, everyone has the money, everyone has the family, this is what we're all striving for, this is why we go to work. If that's why you want these things, maybe check in with yourself. And if you're going to another country, I would caution you not to go to another country with the same mindset, because then you haven't really left the crappy parts of America behind. So I mentioned earlier someone about women who are single with no kids and feel, especially as we get older, it's like that clock done tick-tocked out. Like, there's no more time left. What's happening? I don't know if you've seen my CNBC special, little YouTube, I'll link it. But after it came out, one woman asked me, the video is about how I retired at 39. And a woman wrote to me and she was like, I want to do this, but I'm terrified that I'm not going to have a man. And is it going to be worth it if I'm single? I don't know what to tell you, sis. Like, you're scared of retiring at 39 because you might be single. Y'all see all these unhappy in relationship people, and still the idea is so deeply embedded in us that we will not be happy until we have life partners. That the idea that you could stop working before 40 is still like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know. What if I'm still working at, I'm not working at 40, but there's no man by my side. Sister, loves, beloveds, men can help you and men can hurt you. So in your quest to do whatever it is in life, remember that when you add a man to the equation, they can help you and they can hurt you. And so the idea that you won't be happy unless you have a man with you, I would back up. I tell you to rewind that and tell you that you might not make your goals if you have the wrong man with you. If you have the right man, yay. But if you have the wrong partner with you, you might never reach whatever goals those are. And so don't let that idea, that American idea that if you do not have a partner, a spouse, a lover, any version of those words, that you've somehow failed or that your accomplishments aren't enough. Or if you don't have kids, you're not a woman, because no. The American dream was not designed to bring you happiness. The American dream was designed to keep you working in a capitalist system. And so I tell you, whenever you're ready, press the brakes hard and hop off the hamster wheel. But if you're going to do that, make sure you leave all the pieces of the dream that don't serve you behind, because a lot of y'all are acting like you're done with America and then bringing your American ideals with you to other countries. And it's kind of ugly. It's kind of ugly. All right, that was my rant for the day. Love y'all. I will see you in a few days. Bye.